Yo, what is going on guys? This is Swerve here and welcome back to another Jurassic World Evolution video. I thought since it's been a while since I've made a Jurassic World Evolution video and you know, I want to make some more content on it just in case this game is slowly dying. Here's a little explanation of how to build 5 unique enclosures for all 5 hybrids that we currently have in Jurassic World Evolution. Now before I get into this video, I can't thank you guys enough for 14.5k subscribers. If we can hit 15k subscribers, that'll be incredible. As you guys know, that was my goal for 2020, and it seems like we're going to hit it within 6 and 7 months, which is crazy. So we're definitely ahead of schedule. But if you are new around here, do leave a subscription as it really would help out the channel, and also like the video, you know, for the luck of building a beautiful park with hybrids. But without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. So right, as you can see, we have built this beautiful entrance for a sort of hybridized park, I guess. Now one sort of thing I'm going to tell you here, yes, I am using mods, okay, but you can still make the same park without using mods, just do the same thing as I'm doing. The rocks may look different, some trees may look different, that's okay, you can still experiment the way you like to do it. But this does work without mods as well, so don't you worry. But also another thing, I am actually going to be putting hatcheries on the enclosures, so I'm going to have to think about that. But I know most of you guys won't do that. You'll probably do a little hatchery pen and then you'll transfer your dinosaurs over. And that's probably a really good way of doing it. So I definitely highly recommend you make sure to build your little paddock somewhere else firstly and then transfer your dinosaurs over rather than what I'm going to do. I'm only going to do this as I feel like it's a little bit easier to explain. So the first hybrid dinosaur that we are going to do is the Spina-Raptor. Yes, the Spina-Raptor. We all love the Spina-Raptor. Well, personally, it's probably my favourite hybrid in the game, and that's because it's Spinosaurus and Velociraptor together. Now we have to think about it. Spinosaurus and Velociraptor put together. So as you can see, we have the beautiful Spina-Raptor here on screen. Now, as you can see, the description does say the Spina-Raptor was a hybrid creation from the Spinosaurus and Velociraptor genomes. It is noted for its aggression. So what we are going to have to think about is the aggression here. As you can tell, it's a very angry dinosaur. Obviously on Sandbox, you can turn off all of these stuff, but just in case you're not building on Sandbox, the aggression is going to be a high factor here. So make sure you build it with very strong fences. Definitely recommend the concrete walls. But if you don't want to use, I'm not going to use concrete in this video, just so the enclosures can look nicer. So go ahead and not use concrete if you feel comfortable to do so. But it's Spinosaurus and Velociraptor. Now Spinosaurus, wow, I forgot they do the intro there. But Spinosaurus obviously was a Spinosaurid, which we believe lived in swamps. So creating a sort of swampy environment for your Spina-Raptor could be looking very nice. However, also looking at the Velociraptor, we know from the Jurassic Park series that Velociraptor like to hunt in long grass, so you will need some sort of long grass in this enclosure as well. Now, the size recommendation, I don't really think you need too many because I believe you can have 3 Spina-Raptors in one enclosure, so I think for size-wise, I think just up to here will probably be the best size. So we're going to go into like a little speed build so you can actually see how I create this sort of Spina-Raptor enclosure, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And here we are. We have a beautiful looking Spina-Raptor enclosure. Now I know it's not the best, but in my visionary thing, whatever you want to call it, I believe that this is quite good looking. Now what I did here, I was actually fill this place up with loads of shrubs, but as you can see with the mods, it makes it a bit too dark for my liking, so I preferred not to have it. But if you want long grass, I definitely recommend putting shrubs quite a lot around here. If you don't have this environmental texture mod, if you just have the vanilla game, then you are more than welcome to put down loads and loads of shrubs here to make it look like a long sort of thing. I thought I got rid of failed incubations. Okay, now that should be sorted, but as you can see, it's looking okay. It's like a Spinosaurus area, and it would be more of a Velociraptor area over here if I could put down shrubs without making it look too dark, if you know what I mean. I mean, there is a kind of good way to get around it, so I guess if I do this, and then if I go with sand, I can just sort of lighten it up just that little bit extra. That's what I decided to do over here. So as you can see, it was sort of getting too dark of a swamp, so what I decided to do instead was just put down some sand around here and make it look somewhat brighter, you know, instead of having a dark exhibit. Now again, I don't know why this has failed, because I literally just turned off failed incubations, but yeah, so that's the Spina-Raptor enclosure, and we'll show you what it looks like with a Spina-Raptor at the end of the video. So next up on our list, we are going to do a relatively larger a relatively larger hybrid dinosaur. Now this hybrid dinosaur is a bit goofy looking, and let's say it's not really everyone's favourite, but it's definitely a nice looking dinosaur, I guess, sometimes. This is the Ankylodocus, or Ankylodocus, however you'd like to say it. What we are going to do, we're going to move over here, because as you can see, we didn't take too much space. We are going to need quite a considerable amount of space, considering that it is technically a sauropod as the base genome. So we have to take that into account. We also have to take into account that it's also Ankylosaurus, so it's a strong herbivorous dinosaur. This can look well with other sauropods in your enclosure to decorate it with. I do recommend doing that, maybe to put some Diplodocus in there, or maybe some Ankylosaurus as well, and then you can have an Ankylodocus in there as well, which is probably what I'm going to do eventually. But nevertheless, let's get into the speed build of building the Ankylodocus exhibit. Again, what we need to think about is trees and rocks, because Ankylosaurus and sauropod, you know, it's a Diplodocus as well, so we're going to have to take that into account, but let's get straight into it. And here you have it, another nice looking enclosure for the Ankylodocus. Now this sort of area here where we have the redwoods, we can sort of move the redwoods about, space them out a little bit more, sort of make it look a little bit nicer, I guess. But right, what did I do here? Well, here I have a nice little center watering hole, which is what I like to do in most sort of large exhibits, you know, just have like a centering water hole with, I don't know, like a donut shape, I guess you can call it a donut. But yeah, it looks pretty cool to me, in my opinion. Now, because we have Ankylosaurus coming in here, and we also have Ankylodocus and Diplodocus in here, you have to think about the spatial awareness of them. Ankylosaurus doesn't really want to spend its time in trees. It wants to be able to, you know, roam about in the open area. So here you have the open area section for them, but then you also have trees for the Diplodocus and the Ankylodocus. Now again, we have redwoods here, so what I wanted to do was add some dirt, as the dirt does add some color towards the redwoods and make it look a little bit natural. This also works without mods as well, so don't you worry. But yeah, so as you can see, it's too green in my liking. If we just grab the dirt and we go over with the dirt, it looks a little bit more natural in my opinion. But yeah, it does look really cool, and I can't wait to see what the Ankylodocus are going to think about it. Hopefully they're going to enjoy it. Where are they? Here's the Ankylodocus. Hopefully they're going to enjoy it, but we'll see at the end of the video if they will or not. Next up, we actually have another herbivore. So with this being another herbivore, I'm probably going to put this around here for the herbivorous section. But we are going to build the Stegoceratops. Now, what is the Stegoceratops? Well, in this game, the Stegoceratops is the Stegosaurus and Triceratops. But in actual fact, the Stegoceratops is the Stegosaurus and the Pseudoceratops. But we got the Stegosaurus released way before we got the Pseudoceratops in-game. So we have to deal with these sort of trike-looking Stegoceratops instead. But this is going to be a very exciting enclosure to build because it doesn't have to be that big, and you can also mix it with other stegosaurids and trikes if you want it to. We're not going to do quite that, we're just going to include 3 of them, but remember, let's say they're similar to rhinoceroses, they might want to like hit their horns or practice hitting their horns against something, so maybe some rocks and trees would be nice in there, and we just have to wait and see exactly, I don't know, where my mind goes with it, but let's get into the speed build. Okay, welcome back. Right, as you can see here, we built a somewhat looking nice enclosure for the Stegoceratops. Now, my thinking behind this, we needed a bit of rock, so we had some rocks in here. We also have a viewing gallery in a somewhat nice area, so it's shaded by the sun and everything like that, looking quite nice. We have a relatively big drinking pool because they are big dinosaurs, and we also have a few trees here as well. So, what I was thinking with this bit here, as you can see, the terrain does go up a little bit. We had to deal with a bit of terrain, so to make it look even nicer with the terrain, I decided to make it a full another level. So the terrain was only going up here, but I decided to go like that and make the water at a lower level, if that makes sense. And then we sort of made it look a bit more three-dimensional by putting down rock around the side of it, and then also putting sand and rock, like a little mixture going on right here, to make it sort of blend in a little bit more, and also put a rock here to make the slope blend in a little bit more as well. Now, placing down the trees, what I did, I basically grabbed a big brush tool and I went into rock and put the third brush and just tapped it around, and wherever it would make a rock is where it would stay, and then anywhere it didn't, I would put the trees in between. So as you can see, we can walk around, there are rocks and then there's trees in between. This makes off a, I don't know, it looks really nice, let's just say that. So we don't have too many trees, and it sort of regulates how many trees we are going to put in. So that is my build for the Stegoceratops, and in my personal opinion, I really like this build. Now, next up we have Fallen Kingdom's antagonist, the Indoraptor. So we have done the Doctor Wu DLC dinosaurs. As you can see, we have the Spina-Raptor, the Ankylodocus, and the Stegoceratops. Now, the only 2 dinosaurs left are also Doctor Wu's experiments, however, from the movies, the Indoraptor and the Indominus Rex. We'll start with the Indoraptor first. So the main thing that we have to think about when building an Indoraptor enclosure is what it was like in the movies. It was heartless, it destroyed everything, it wanted to kill everything. So we have to keep this in mind. We know about its sense of smell, we know about its sense of attacking stuff, and you know, just how dangerous this dinosaur can be. So we have to keep that in mind when we are building an enclosure like this. So it needs to be relatively big, I guess. It doesn't have to be too big, but it does have to be relatively big, just so we can make a decent looking enclosure. But again, it doesn't have to be too big, which is why I'm going for more of an elongated enclosure here, and you'll see why in just a second. So what we will want to do is get quite a few viewing galleries going as well, probably 3 or 2, something like that. So we'll put 3 instead. And this is the fun part about building an Indoraptor enclosure. You want it to be scary for your guests, you want it to be a little bit terrifying. So what you will need to do is think of this. You're looking through the forest, you can't see anything until a black figure walks across with a yellow stripe. That is the Indoraptor. So that's what you want to do. Now, before I start this speed build, which isn't really going to be much of a speed build to be honest, we will need to put loads of trees in front of the viewing galleries. Now, I know some people might think, oh, why are you doing this? They can't see anything. Yeah, they can't see anything, fair enough. So we'll have to wait for them to build firstly, and then we'll have to undo exactly how many trees so we can actually see. So let's do just that. Let's connect these guys up, and let's look through this viewing platform. As you can see, you can't really see too many trees there. You look through this one, can't see anything through the trees there, and here you can't really see too much. So what you'll want to do is go to landscape, go to delete trees, go to the smallest one, and delete trees every little bit, just like so. So it creates a little tunnel through the trees that your guests will be able to look through. So if we go through here, as you can see, a tunnel is there. Not much of a tunnel there, but if the Indoraptor's over there, they'll be able to see it. If you look through this one, they are able to see pretty much through the whole thing as well, which actually looks very cool in my opinion. And likewise over here, probably not too much going through there, but they can see through there, and if the Indoraptor comes through the trees, they can see it there as well. So let's continue this speed build. It will only be a short one, but let's continue it anyways. So yes, this is pretty much it for the Indoraptor. You want it to be a little bit discreet, a little bit in hiding, you know, because at the end of the day it's the Indoraptor and anything can pretty much set it off. So that's why you just have to think about exactly what you want to build for your Indoraptor, how you're going to build it. What I personally did was build trees around the enclosure, as you can see. So the Indoraptor isn't disturbed by any pedestrians walking through or anything like that. But at the same time, taking into account what the guests can see through here. Probably this viewing gallery isn't looking the best, but as you can see a little bit through there. Looking over here, however, this is probably the best viewing gallery to be at, because as you can see the Indoraptor going for water, and maybe we can add a few goats in here as well, and hopefully we can see the Indoraptor attack something later down the line if we were to build a park similar to this. I did actually get rid of a few trees there, so just double check. It's fine. As you can see, goats, and the Indoraptor's going to get that bad boy 100%. But yes, as you see, the Indoraptor exhibit doesn't really have to be too big. Let's release these Stegoceratops, but the Indoraptor exhibit doesn't actually have to be all that big. It just has to be very discreet and very much in hiding. So next up, as you can see, we have pretty much left this area here pretty much boxed off, to say the least. You know why? Because the Indominus Rex is coming, and with the Indominus Rex comes a technically similar movie exhibit. We didn't really have a movie exhibit for any other of the dinosaurs in this build, but we do actually have a movie exhibit for this dinosaur right here. Or shall we even call it dinosaur? Let's just stick to the word hybrid. But this is the Indominus Rex. Now, clearly I have made a little bit of a mistake, as I think that this enclosure is a little bit too small. You might want to expand your enclosures just that little bit extra, especially when building the Indominus Rex enclosure. But what is iconic about the Indominus Rex enclosure? It's the first time we get to see concrete walls, so you kind of have to build an Indominus Rex enclosure with concrete walls. So let's do just that. So as the sun starts setting on Isla Nublar, we are building our Indominus Rex exhibit. Now this Indominus Rex exhibit goes one of two ways, depending on how you want. So as you can see, we built the concrete enclosure right to the sort of section of the path. Now this is completely up to you. If you want viewing galleries, you're more than welcome to have a viewing gallery, because we know in the movie there is actually one viewing gallery, so let's just build just one viewing gallery just for the sake of it. And we can get back to building that way. Just bear with me a second so I can connect these guys up. It's probably going to look a little bit goofy. but this is just an idea video, it's not a professional tutorial. But as you can see, similar to the movie, it's kind of like a boxed enclosure, or like a hexagon. Oh my god, my maths is dreadful. I used to love shapes. I'm just going to say hexagon, because I think it's a hexagon. But yeah, so it's a hexagon shape, but I'm going to go with a square or rectangular shape, as you can see here. And we'll get our Indominus Rex ready, because, you know, it's exciting to say the least. So, with the sun setting, we are going to build our Indominus Rex exhibit. So, this is exciting. Hope you guys do enjoy and take some ideas from this. So as you can see, we are turning into dusk. It's getting very dark. Now, hopefully it does turn into nighttime whilst I do showcase the Indominus Rex, because that would be pretty cool. But as you can see, it's a very basic enclosure, because the Indominus Rex loves its trees. It has camouflage, and from what we see in the movie, if we were to be in Simon Masrani's shoes and also Claire Dearing's shoes, we could probably see the Indominus Rex somewhere around here, and Simon Masrani says, can she see us? And stuff like that. But where was the water? Well, apparently, according to my sources, the water was inside the enclosure, bang slap in the middle. And as you can see, I've made it bang slap in the middle. I assume the Indominus Rex is here looking into the viewing gallery during that scene, and then she can also walk through here and then start drinking, and maybe the crane comes from here and they get fed, because as you can see, when Owen Grady came in here, he was on the right side and says you feed it with that, and pointed towards this area, which I assume the crane is coming over here and feeding her that way. So that's the exciting part, but not much to be said for the Indominus Rex enclosure. Very similar to the movie. Basically, just make it discreet again and put the water in the middle so the guests can't see it drinking. I know it kind of defeats the point of Jurassic World Evolution, but you know, if you want to make a nice enclosure idea, then this is definitely an idea for you. But as you can see, it's turning into nighttime, and we should be able to showcase the Indominus Rex very shortly. So, as you guys can see here, we have the Indominus Rex ready, and it is night time, exactly time ready for the Indoraptor as well. But let's see the Indominus Rex in her natural habitat. As you can see, walks straight into the forest, only sees forest in night time. This is quite spooky at night. Hell yeah, I love the look of it. The Indominus Rex is definitely one of my favourite dinosaurs. If we were to have a sequel of this game, I wouldn't mind having it in there, to be honest. Is it camouflaging? I think it is camouflaging. I can't quite tell. It's becoming somewhat morning now as well. So let's see what she looks like. Yep, she was camouflaging. She was camouflaging. It can camouflage! But yeah, so as you can see, the Indominus Rex is here in a very simple enclosure, because that's how they made the enclosure in the movie. Very simple, which is quite nice to say the least. But yeah, so it does look quite nice. Let's see if we can see her through here. We can't. If she were to pop through here, we can probably do so. But that's the Indominus Rex. Now, time for the Indoraptor. He is here. Another hybrid that's spooky at night as well. Let's see where he goes. Straight through the trees. I think it's going for the water first. In the open, like what a raptor would like to be in the open. But then also the Indominus Rex and some raptor DNA does want it to be in the trees. But as you can see, he's going for the water. Are we able to see? Oh, just about. I think it's over there. The trees are in our way, but that's the exciting part. You don't know when you'll see the Indoraptor, and that's actually the goat that the Indoraptor was chasing just there. Oh no, there he is, there he is. But that's the exciting part. You can scroll in and you can see the Indoraptor when you shouldn't be able to. Interesting, interesting. Right, let's turn this back into more of a nicer looking thing. Let's apply settings, and because I prefer the morning setting, we're going to get it to morning. There we go. I really like this colorization, brightness, whatever you want to call it. Those are the Ankylodocus, but as you can see, we have the Diplodocus here, chilling, eating trees. Same with the other Diplodocus, wherever she is, somewhere around here, in the middle, looking fine and dandy. But as you can see, we have our two Ankylodocuses here as well. And I think they go quite well. They are sort of herding in their own areas. Besides the Diplodocus, they are herding. So as you can see, the Ankylosaurus, they are also herding over here. And then you also have the Ankylodocus over here herding as well. but they seem to be enjoying the exhibit. That's the main thing, and it is looking quite nice if you ask me. I really like this exhibit. It's nice and cute. Next up we have the Stegoceratops. Which 2 of them are asleep and they seem to just be chilling, you know, chilling by this rock. We'll call it Stego Rock now. Stegocera Rock. And they are chilling. I think they're the same skin. No, they're not the same skin. Oh, okay, one's waking up, 2's waking up, both of them waking up, yay. But yeah, so this is the Stegosaurus, or Stegoceratops, sorry, enclosure, which I actually think, personally, it looks really cool and chill, and I don't know, I enjoy it, and I hope you guys think it's quite cool as well. Not every single enclosure has to be so fancy looking, you know, you can have a basic looking enclosure for it to look so nice. That's what most zoos actually do as well. But let's go to our first contender in today's video, which was the Spina-Raptor. Isn't she a beauty? I really do love the Spina-Raptor. Even the calls are quite cool as well. But here they are, in their natural habitat. I really like it. I want to go to this one. But actually, I'll tell you what, if you go here into capture mode, you can actually see, I think the Spina-Raptor goes really well with the swampy area. I was a bit skeptical about it, but I think it goes really well. But those are the 5 hybrids and their enclosures. Now, if you did enjoy this video, do leave a like. Let me know how well I did in this video or how I could have improved. But hopefully you guys take some inspiration from this type of video. I do want to make some similar videos in the future, so if you have any ideas for certain species, do let me know. But in the meantime, I think that's all of the ideas I've got to keep them somewhat basic, and hopefully take ideas. Again, you don't need to copy these enclosures to exact, you can just get ideas of how I build enclosures for hybrids and what I build around them as well, so I don't build too much. But hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy today's video and you think I deserve it, do leave a like, as it does help the video get recognised out there a little bit more, and do share it around if you do have friends who play this game. But in the meantime, hope you guys have enjoyed. Like, comment and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye bye.